So it's a long weekend here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I am off to a place called Mistletoe Flats, which is a little campsite that I'm really excited to go and visit. I haven't been there for a few years, so it'll be nice to go and see what's going on. Really, there's a few rivers and a couple of hills to climb, and there's a place around the corner called Castle Hill, which is very popular. A lot of people know it, and a few movies and stuff were filmed there, and it's also a very significant location for the local iwi or tribe of Māori people here in New Zealand. So I'm really excited to go and see what I can do with the camera, take some really nice compositions of Castle Hill and the streams. And the weather forecast is looking a bit drab, a bit gloomy, so I'm hoping to utilize the fog that's supposed to come in, a bit of mist, a bit of drizzle, to take some really moody shots, as I don't have much of that in my portfolio, so it'll be a really interesting experience. I'll keep you updated, but I'll get back to driving.
Now this has got to be one of my favourite drives in the country. I might be really biased because it is close to home, but man, coming up the Porter's Pass, looking through the fog and coming down the other side is always a favourite moment for me travelling. Now the gloomy weather was here, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. The clouds started to burn off, and I was really worried it was going to be like this the whole weekend. It meant that I was having to rethink what I was going to be shooting while I was here. When the weather makes you think, it always makes for a more interesting shoot, so I was looking forward to getting to the campsite and getting set up.
And we've made it to Mistletoe Flat. Lots to explore on this board here. I'm really excited to go and check out a few of these tracks around the place, but the first job, set up the tent and park the car. Well, now that I know how to set up a tent, and I've done that successfully, the plan is to load it up, get my bed set up, and then probably go for a little wander with the camera.
First order of business was to consult the map. I found the shortest track I could and set out for the place called Helicopter Hill. Now I promised to have 360-degree views of the valley and the landscape around it, so I was really excited to go there, see if I could find a suitable composition with my camera and test out my brand new 24-70mm lens.
So success, we've made it in under the time that Doc says, which is quite usual actually. We did the track in half an hour instead of the 45 minutes, and I'm sweating. I need to do more exercise on a regular basis, but Helicopter Hill, 15 minutes, 500 meters up that. So we're gonna give it a crack, see if it takes 15, it might take longer, no clue, but looking forward to seeing the views at the top. Wow, a little while later and we're at the top of Helicopter Hill. It's very peaceful up here. I imagine not so much when the wind's right up, but at the moment it's very peaceful. I'm enjoying this. The cloud is starting to roll in, so I might see what I can do with the camera, have a play around with some panorama style shots, as I've got sort of 360-degree views of the basin, and yeah, we'll just have a play around and see what happens. I don't know if I'd call this trial by fire, but it's certainly not a walk in Hagley Park. This 24-70 lens, I've stuck it on the camera today to see what we can do with it on a landscape photography trip. Now, I'm so used to using my 14-24 that it is a bit different. I'm just trying to capture some of the interesting light bits that does happen on those little ridges you can see, and I might try and capture some of the sun. As you can see, the cloud is coming in, so I won't stay here too long. I think it's going to rain later, and it may block my chance for a sunset, as the sun is sort of coming from over there where all this low hanging cloud is covering. So it might not be a great idea to stick around for too long, and with the fading lights it'll be hard to get much, but yeah, I'm about to be engulfed in this cloud that's just sort of coming up over the hill. It's very, very moody, and all of a sudden very, very gold. I've taken a couple of shots. I'm going to just take a couple more before the cloud rolls in and covers my frame. It is the sort of moody stuff I do want, but probably more for tomorrow when I'm at Castle Hill or somewhere else. Or maybe I'll come back up here tomorrow, I don't know. I'm just going to see how we go. Go with the flow, as they say.
So this is the photo that I ended up taking. I am pretty happy with it actually. The sky and the sun hitting the ridge lines that sort of looks like a dragon's back. It's actually sort of interesting. It's pretty sharp, but definitely could be improved. The cloud was rolling in super fast, so I had to act, and unfortunately I couldn't make much more out of the scene.
There is the hill I was on, I think. It's it's a pretty big climb, but all around about 2 hours up and down, so not bad. Definitely one to keep in mind for you know, big colourful sunsets or sunrises, and there's actually a lot of area at the top potentially to camp out. If the weather is good, you could definitely stay up there for a night or two, and just meander and explore really, and just be at peace on the top of a hill. But yeah, look at this. There's a little stream in this campsite, which is very nice. It's a bit boggy there. I wouldn't put a tent there, but you know, it's a really good atmosphere. It does mean, however, that the mosquitoes are out and about, so I'm going to go back to my tent and prep myself some dinner. Feasting like a king. We've got a tuna, nacho mix essentially, and a wrap with garlic butter. Cheers.
And the reason that I've come to this place, to find peace, away from the hustle and bustle. And you know what? I think I found it.
Well, it's day 2 on my little exploration mission for Labour weekend, and I'm having a very primitive breakfast of yogurt, mandarin and a banana. It doesn't get much better than that really. I've woken up this morning, it's rained overnight, and the sun is starting to come out, so I think I'm going to head down the road and actually go and explore a place called Cave Stream, and then maybe head on to Castle Hill this evening for sunset, sort of blue hour photography, and then back for the evening here. Yeah, that's sort of the plan. I'm just sort of going with the flow. It's about, I think it's about 9:30 at the moment, so a bit of a later start in the day. Even on a cold, rainy-ish day, the mosquitoes are still out. I have to do the wave of hatred to keep them away, but yeah, looking forward to today.
So I left the campsite and hit the road, round the corner just down to Cave Stream. I was surprised that it wasn't busier. Usually at this time of year, especially on a long weekend, it would start to get a bit busier, but I must have got really lucky. So I hit the trail. It's just a short walk down to the cave, taking in some beautiful scenery. The light was playing, it was very sort of almost stormy. Really excited to see what would happen to the light once I was down in the stream bed.
cave stream. There it is. This is actually Broken River, which is that little stream that goes through the campsite that I'm staying at as well. And it meanders its way through and actually through the cave, through what is, I think this is actually limestone, which is obviously soft and has eroded with the water over hundreds of millions of years of time. And yeah, so privileged to be here. There is a lot to explore. The sun is actually poking through some clouds, which is actually really what I want, to just allow for some difference in shadow contrast, which really does make a photo, especially somewhere like this where it's, you know, it's another gully, as in my last video, and so we really got to find some compositions that show the power of the water and also just display the beautiful landscape that we're in. So I'm going to get cracking, find a composition, and yeah, I'll show you my shot when I get it set up. Now, of course, as soon as I get my composition set up, it starts to rain, which, you know, can add some mood, some drama to the situation, but let me show what I've got. This is sort of the composition, just taking the camera here on a vertical, up these rocks to the cave, and then on to the sky there. And I'm just hoping these clouds sort of come in a bit more, you know, the weather packs in and get some really nice mood to the scene, which at the moment is just quite flat. The light is flat, the rocks are grey, the sky is grey, the water's white and grey and blue, and it's very, very grey, sort of a very monotone. It looked great in black and white, I wouldn't have to worry about the colour. But of course I do want some drama, some action where light can really change a scene, and so that's what I'm going for here. So I'm just going to keep trying to take a photo and wait and see if the light does anything. And if not, bank this spot in my mind and I can come back another day when I know the light will be better. Sometimes it helps to turn around as well when shooting a river. Often shooting downstream can be less appealing, as you know, you're not confronted with the full force of, you know, whatever waterfalls or rocks or rapids. You're just sort of getting those trailing bubbles. But in this instance, what I've come up with is a bit of a panorama, a vertical one. So it's going to go from here to here, all the way around, and just include this whole landscape. I think it's actually a really nice composition. So I'm hoping that it turns out any good. That other shot was alright. Again, I really just want that better light. Just waiting for some better light, but it is sort of midday, so I'm not going to get any right now, but I might come back a bit later on in the day and try again. But yeah, if this panorama turns out any good, here's the shot. Because maybe I can sell it and make some money. Now, as per usual, I've left it a little late. It's cold. Precarious nature of this camera. Cheers, mate.